Hi everyone, it's great to have you all here with me. I hope you had a wonderful week practicing your recorder. We did a lot of interesting and exciting, but also challenging things last week. We did the C major scale in 2 octaves. We worked on the D major scale in 1 octave. We did a number of breathing exercises, transitioning from one note to the next, making sure that it was smooth and easy. We also worked on a beautiful fanfare by Chedeville. We have a number of things to do today, but before we get right into that, I wanted to do a little bit of review. We always start with a few breathing exercises, so what I'm going to ask you to do is sit up straight, relax yourselves, make sure that your shoulders are relaxed, make sure that your spine is upright, but not rigid and tight, but still erect. Make sure that you're very, very calm, and we're going to take a deep breath in to fill our whole chest cavity all the way in. And I want to make sure that my shoulder is still very relaxed and calm. And when I exhale, I want to make sure that I'm breathing through my mouth with a steady flow of air. Let's try that. Okay, ready? And exhale. That was pretty good. We'll do the same thing, and we're going to blow through the recorder. Let's play a couple of transitioning notes. 2 notes, teeter-tottering from one note to the next. I know one difficult note for me is C sharp, which is 1 and 2, and D sharp, which is 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that's a very tricky transition. The first one is C sharp. So a C sharp octave above middle C. And the octave above middle C, D sharp, is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think of it as all of the inside holes on the front-facing part of the recorder. All right, so all of them minus the top one and the bottom one. That's D sharp. Let's try it. Beautiful. So let's try that. Steady flow of wind pressure through our mouth as we're blowing through the recorder, and we'll play a C sharp and a D sharp. All right, let's try it. Wow, okay, that was pretty good. So that was C sharp to D sharp. Another note that I find rather tricky is B flat to C. That's another tricky one. B flat, of course, octave above middle C. And the B flat is 0, 1, 3, 4, 6, and 7. And our C, which is the octave above middle C again, is 0 and 2. Let's try that. Again, take that deep inhale, fill your chest cavity, and as we blow through the recorder, make sure it's one steady stream of air as we transition from B flat to C. Let's try that. That's a tricky one. That's a very, very tricky one. Now, I wanted to just go over our C major scale in 2 octaves. Let's take a look at that. All right, so I wanted to use my metronome, and again, the higher the number, the faster the ticking goes. The slower the number, the slower the tick goes. All right, so I'm going to choose, maybe let's say I'm using 104. All right, so I'm going to play my C major 2-octave scale at 104. Of course, my scales are written in eighth notes, and for every tick that I hear on the metronome, I'm going to be playing 1/8 note. So each note gets a tick. Got it? We're playing the C major scale in 2 octaves. Try it with me. So I'll give you 2 free bars. Ready? 1 and 2 and ready and play. Not bad. That was pretty good. I still need to work on it. Have you guys been practicing every day? Make sure that you do, all right? You need to practice your music every day. Let's take a look at our D major scale. So I'm feeling a little bit adventurous. I'm going to put this at maybe, let's say, 120. All right? Again, our scales are written in eighth notes. For every note that I play, I'll be hearing a tick. So every tick I hear, I'll play 1 note on it. D major, remember it has 2 sharps, F sharp and C sharp. F sharp is me and C sharp is T. Let's try it, everyone. I'll give you 2 free bars. 1 and 2 and ready and not bad. Let's add one more scale to our arsenal of scales, and that's the F major scale. So the F major scale has 1 flat, it's B flat, and B flat is Fa. So F is Do, Re is G, A is Mi, B flat is Fa, C is So, D is La, E is T, and F is Do. All right. So let us try playing these notes in the scale. So I start with F. Above F is a G. Above G is a B flat. We just learned that. 0, 1, 3, 4, 6, 7. Just above that is C, which is 0, 2. Just above that is a D. Just above that is an E. And an octave F is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. Don't forget that the 0 hole is half hold. Beautiful. Let's try playing that F major scale very slowly. All right, let's try it. Legato. Okay, I tried to get that in one breath by the skin of my teeth. That's not bad. Why don't you practice playing the F major scale for next week? So now we have C major, D major, F major. Excellent. We talked about transition notes. I wanted to add one more thing, and it revolves around the concept of tonguing. Now, we did talk about tonguing, the da-da-da, or do-do-do-do-do, last week. So I want to try an exercise with all of you. We've already learned our B flat, which is a very tricky note. So what I want to do is, I want to build on this. I'm going to be playing a B flat, which is 0, 1, 3, 4, 6, and 7. And I want to play one long note. Now that's pretty easy, isn't it? Let's try it. That was a pretty good tone. All right, one long continuous note, right? Let's say we wanted to play a series of repeated B flats. How are we going to do it? I could just break my breathing like this. And And of course I'm exaggerating. The trained recorder, the trained professional recorder would be able to start very easily and so on. But what I want to do is I want to start my B flat, or every single B flat, with a tongue. So I'm going to go like this. Think about that continuous breath. Do. Now what I want to do is do, 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 do. So I'm blowing and I'm punctuating each note with a duh, 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 duh. But still I'm maintaining a continuous and steady flow of breath. So let's try it. Go. Now, I could make it staccato with a t, 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 but try to make sure that your breathing is still continuous. Let's try that with a t. So one continuous flow or stream of air, but I want to punctuate my breath with t's. And we're going to do a series of B flats. Again, 0, 1, 3, 4, 6, and 7. Let's try it. Good. How do I end my note? So I start it with a t or toot, and I want to end it by almost slapping the roof of my mouth with the tip of my tongue to block or stop the flow of air. Toot. All right? It's kind of like, say, toot, 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 or doot, doot, doot. All right? Let's try that. All right, so that's the basic concept of tonguing. How are you going to apply this? Well, I want you all to practice your scales, both legato with one steady flow of air pressure from your mouths, but I also want you to tongue each note as well. So this is the legato, example C major. And so on. Now tongue each note. And so on. Do, 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 do. And I want you to practice making sure that your tonguing coincides precisely when you change to the next note, all right? All right, I have another thing to show you. As we're starting off, we've been playing a lot of notes or a lot of music on our Staccato recorder. Well, I want to introduce you all to the Treble Recorder, and we should be proficient in all of them. Now, these recorders are essentially the same. In fact, all recorders are the same in terms of the number of holes that they have in the front and in the back. The only difference is that some recorders are pitched or scaled differently to others. Now, if I play 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, of course on the soprano recorder, the descant, I'll be hearing this. And that's a middle C. If I play 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the treble recorder or on the alto, this is what I hear. So it's a different note. Well, this is an F recorder, while this is a C recorder. So when I play my scale starting from the very bottom note, and I go up the notes, so it'll be scaled according to C major. For my treble recorder, it's scaled to F major. Now, remember about solfege? I wanted you to remember that Do is whatever my scale is. So in this case of C major, Do is middle C, all of the holes covered. Well, for my F major scale, what's my do? It's F, do. And that's with all of the holes covered. So all of these recorders, they might be scaled differently, but all of the fingering from one recorder to the next are the same solfege syllables, okay? So if this is do, the next one up would be re. Next one, A, B flat, fa. Now this would be in the descant recorder, that would be fa, but what is fa in the C major scale? F. All right, so this treble recorder or alto recorder is scaled a fifth below the treble recorder or the descant recorder. All right, just remember that. So I want you to remember what these notes are. My first note is do. The next note is re. Next note is. Next note is fa. So la, D. This is E, which is T, and that would be do again, all right? So remember your notes on the alto or treble recorder, okay? It's very important that we familiarize ourselves with yet one more recorder, all right? And this is a treble or an alto recorder. Just remember that. So I wanted to take a look at a wonderful piece by Praetorius, The King's Dance. It's a lovely piece in common time, 4/4. That means that there are 4 beats in every bar, and each quarter note gets 1 beat. So if there are 4 beats in a bar and 1 quarter note gets 1 beat, I'll have to put 4 quarter notes in every bar to make it complete, or their equivalent. And of course, how many quarter notes goes into a half note? Obviously, 2 quarter notes. So that means if I wanted to put only half notes in my bar, I'd have to put 2 half notes. I'm going to use the metronome, and so let's just try this. Now, the first thing is I have 2 eighth notes in my first bar, but 2 eighth notes equals 1 beat, and this first bar actually doesn't have 4 beats in it. It should, because it says 4/4, right? So what does that mean? It means that it's a pickup. It leads us to the real bar, which is the bar that has a full set of beats. So actually bar 1 is not the bar that contains the 2 eighth notes. Bar 1 is the one that contains a complete and full set of notes that equal to 4 beats. But still the question then remains, how do I count those 2 eighth notes? Do I go 1 and? Of course not. I'm going to have to count 4 and to take me to 1. Otherwise, I'll just be playing 1 and 1 and. And of course, when you're counting in 4/4, I need to make sure that I'm counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and so on, all right? So I'm going to count these 2 eighth notes as 4 and then we'll play the next note, which is a quarter note, and that comes on beat 1. So let's try it. Let's play this, all right? And I'm going to turn on my metronome, and I'm going to do it at maybe, let's say, 66. Now we talked about tonguing, so I want to tongue each note, but I still want to make sure that it's connected as possible, even though I'm tonguing. So this is 66. Now I'm going to play a quarter note for every tick that I hear. That means every time I hear a tick, I'm going to play one quarter note. If I play an eighth note, then I'm going to have to play two of them per tick. Remember, each tick is equivalent to one quarter note. Now, if I play a half note, then obviously a half note will receive two ticks. Got it? All right, let's try it slowly. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Okay, not bad. So that was pretty easy. I want to play this piece in two different ways. The first way, I want to play this legato. That means no tonguing except for repeated notes, if there are any, and my starting note. All right? And I'm going to make my metronome just a little bit louder so you can hear it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Okay, so we played it two different ways. The first time we tongued it, and then this time we played it legato. What I'd like you to do is practice over the next week your tonguing and your legato playing. When you play your scales, make sure that it's legato. And tongue it too. And so on. That was wonderful, everyone. I had a lot of fun working with you today. I hope that you'll practice this coming week, all of the things that we discussed: legato, non-legato, tonguing, breathing, transitioning between those difficult notes like the B flat to the C, or the C sharp to the D sharp, or a number of other notes that you might find difficult. I hope that you practice your C major scale and your D major scale and now your F major scale. Make sure that you know what their solfege syllables are. We already discussed the treble or alto recorder, and we'll spend some more time into that instrument as well. It's one of my favorite instruments, actually, the alto recorder. Also the tenor, although I do love the soprano as well. So we have a lot of work to do, and I will see you all next week. Bye.